Hey, how's it going? Hope you all are doing good in these turbulent times. Considering that you're all probably here to learn React, I just wanted to preface this series by saying that we'll be going over React and then Next.js as well. You might have heard of React, you might not have heard of Next.js, but we'll be covering them both. The reason why is because it will enhance your employability. Of course, you will need a working knowledge of React, JavaScript, and the related web development concepts. So starting from this video, basically we'll be covering a bit of JavaScript. I hope you're all coming in with a little bit of JavaScript knowledge because this series is primarily to tackle React and then Next.js. The outline is that we first will be creating a JavaScript application, then migrating it to React and then Next.js. So that way you'll get a bit of JavaScript action as well, and then you learn how to migrate it to React and then Next.js while learning the concept along the way. Each section will be building upon the other, as is usual with these types of courses, but you can choose where to start from depending on what you already know. There will be timestamps, so you'll be able to navigate as you want. Regarding the prerequisite knowledge, I assume you'll already be familiar with HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript, and of course, no knowledge of React. The system requirements, if you have a computer running Windows, Linux, Mac OS, anything goes. I'll be using my lovely but a little outdated Mac Mini, but you can use whatever. And by using a Mac Mini, I am not, repeat, not an Apple fanboy. I just like the Mac operating software, but I don't like the iOS operating software. That's why I have an Android, just to put it out there. Anyway, with regards to the requirements, you need to have Node.js installed and a text editor of your choice. I'm using VS Code. You can use whatever. What you need to do is you go to Node.js, just install it, and that should be good. And as you can see, I have some version or the other running on my computer. Might not be the latest one, but it gets the job done. And for a text editor, you can use anything, Sublime, whatever. I'm using Visual Studio Code because it's quite popular, and why not? That too, you can get from just going to VS Code and downloading from here. Yeah. That's it. Anyway, let's get started. So now we begin with what the building blocks of a web application are. So whenever you're building a web application, there are a few things which you need to consider. So first, you have to take into consideration the user interface, how the users will be interacting with the application. Then we have the routing, how people will be navigating between different parts of the application. Then you have data fetching, then rendering, integrations, performance, scalability, developer experience. You have quite a lot to think about. But right now, when you're getting started, you don't need to consider all of those. Let's start step by step with the user interface. Basically, whenever you're starting with an application, you have to be mindful of all of these things. But for now, we're just going through learning about it. You don't need to consider all of these. Let's just take it step by step. Starting off, what is React? React is a JavaScript library for building interactive user interface. That basically means that React provides you the code and the functions that you can use and reuse however you see fit. It's very flexible. So React deals with user interface, meaning the elements that users see and interact with on screen. For example, we have this. We have the logo, we have a nav bar, the sidebar, we have the posts. These are all different elements that the user can see and interact with. So these are what React deals with. Then we go ahead with Next.js. Again, we're not diving deep into Next.js right now. It's just an overview of what it is so that you know what you're getting yourself into. As I said, React is a library. You can use it however you see fit. But Next.js is a React framework, which is different to a library. In contrast to a library, a framework handles the tooling and configuration, and it provides you with features and optimizations. It is more strict as to how you use it. This React framework gives you the building blocks to create web applications. As you can see over here, Next.js spans the server and the client and provides you with features such as routing, data fetching, and rendering. So it's an entire package, while React itself is just part of the UI.